It's June 2025 and the Washington Metro has just undergone some significant changes, so let's talk about them.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom, I'm in Washington DC, I live here, and for the past 2 years I've been a daily rider of the Washington Metro. But recently, the Washington Metro has had some significant changes. It started with automatic doors. See, for a long time, when a Metro train stopped, the operator had to get up, look out the window, then go back, open the doors, which meant it would take a really long time for the doors to open. Now the doors open automatically as soon as the train stops at the correct place.
The second major change was the reintroduction of automatic train operation and the increase of line speeds, which happened in stages between December 2024 and June 2025. Just like with the doors, ATO has contributed to significant time savings when you're traveling by Metro.
As of a few weeks ago, all the lines now use ATO, and on June 22nd, 2025, Metro had probably some of the most significant service changes they've had since I've lived here at least. For one, the Metro's hours have been extended on the weekends. On Saturdays and Sundays, the system opens at 6 a.m. now, and on Fridays and Saturdays, trains run until 2 a.m. Second, frequencies have been raised on the Red Line, with trains theoretically running every 4 minutes during rush hour. But the biggest changes that happened on June 22nd affected the Silver Line. Now I've arrived at Stadium-Armory Station. Beyond this point, the line splits into two branches. A branch to Largo, which was always used by Blue and Silver, and a branch to New Carrollton used by Orange. So behind me on the wall, you can see this light box, which lights up a different color, reminding the operator or the passengers, I don't really know for who it is, which direction the train is going to go. I'm gonna get on a train in the direction of New Carrollton.
Step back. Doors closing.
So I've come to Cheverly Station. Now I took an Orange Line train to get here. Completely normal. The Orange Line has served Cheverly on its way to New Carrollton for decades. Now remember last year I was here too, and I was here to ride a very special Silver Line train that originated not in Largo but in New Carrollton before traveling to Ashburn. Put a link to the video in the description. But back then, that was a special occasion. That was a train that ran only a handful of times, sometimes even just once a day. That's changed because Cheverly, along with Minnesota Avenue, Deanwood, Landover, and New Carrollton, are now not just Orange Line stations, they're Orange and Silver Line stations. So while it's not on any of the static signs or maps yet, if you look at the digital signs, you'll see that the Silver Line has been split starting June 22nd. On the eastern end, half of all trains every day will continue to go to downtown Largo, while the other half will now go to New Carrollton. So that is a Silver Line train to Ashburn leaving Cheverly Station. You know, I imagine soon we'll get stickers covering the signs with updated information. For now, I am waiting another 4 minutes for the Silver Line train to New Carrollton. Gonna see what things are like at New Carrollton Station.
This is the Silver Line train to New Carrollton when you route to the center of the car. The next stop is Largo. Doors open.
All right, New Carrollton. All right, so the reason I came to New Carrollton is because I was curious to see whether there would be like a dedicated Orange Line track and a dedicated Silver Line track. which it looks like that's what they're doing. Of course, the advantage of splitting the Silver Line is that you get similar frequencies on both branches. Earlier, it was 2 trains to Largo for every 1 train to New Carrollton, but now there's about an even amount of trains on both branches.
A second advantage of running service to New Carrollton is that New Carrollton has a large rail yard, whereas Largo only has some short tail tracks.
Anyway, now I'm back on Silver. Let's go to Stadium-Armory again. Now there's a few reasons why I'm back at Stadium-Armory. First, I'm curious about that light up sign. The next train is a Silver to New Carrollton, and I want to know if the orange part will light up or the silver part.
Well, none of them lit up, but hey, at least we know. There's one more change to the Silver Line that I want to show you today, but we have to wait a little bit for that. So in the meantime, let's take a look at one minor change that Metro implemented on June 22nd.
But instead of using 2 letters in their abbreviations, all the lines now use 1 letter. So R for red, O for orange, you get ROBGYS.
You know, personally, I don't have any deep thoughts about this. I think it could actually be useful for people trying to navigate the system. And I do expect that over the next few years, visitors and first-time users are going to switch to referring to the lines by a letter and not a color. But that's not the end of the world to me.
So there's one more thing that's changed about the Silver Line, and that is that during rush hour, there are some extra short-turn trains. Let me explain. So throughout the day, most trains just traverse the whole line. But during rush hour, there are a few trains that'll only run for a short section just for a little bit of extra capacity in the core. And so it is about 5 in the afternoon right now, and I'm about to get on a Silver Line train that originates here at Stadium-Armory. So if you leave Stadium-Armory Station and walk or bike a few blocks, which I don't recommend doing when it's 99 degrees out, but you'll reach a bridge that crosses the Anacostia River. Now in the middle of that bridge, there's a 3rd track, a tail track, where trains can turn around. I thought that that's where the extra rush hour Silver Line trains would lay over, but instead it looks like they come out of service all the way from New Carrollton and then enter service at Stadium-Armory. I'm gonna go try to catch the next one.
This is a Silver Line train to Wiehle-Reston East, Lake Morgan.
All right, I am on the rush hour shuttle from Stadium-Armory to Wiehle-Reston East. We're gonna ride it the whole way because why not just torture ourselves a little bit for fun. I'm gonna sit down. So the nice part is there's basically nobody on here yet. Now, when WMATA first announced these short-term trains, it kind of made it seem like there were going to be quite a few of them during rush hour, but at least during the afternoon rush, according to the transit app, there's only 2 of them. This is Wiehle-Reston East. So it's exactly an hour after we left Stadium-Armory, a little bit delayed because we kept crawling behind the train in front of us. I counted, I was sitting in the front car and there were 21 people that got off at Wiehle-Reston East. Although it looks like most of them are waiting for the next Ashburn train to go even farther. Now the operator just walked through the whole train and now he's gonna take the train to a tail track and I think based on the other train I saw, take it to the yard in West Falls Church. It kind of makes me wonder what the point is when there's so much non-revenue running. Anyway, let's talk about the future. So on June 29th, WMATA will implement the Better Bus Network. And then in December, we're gonna see yellow line service all the way to Greenbelt. So beyond there is phase 2 of the Silver Line, all the way to Dulles and Ashburn. Now, people have been asking me over and over again, when are you gonna make a video about this? Well, some exciting news, I'm gonna make 3 videos about it. So next week, we'll talk about Reston Town Center. Then in 2 weeks, I've got a video about Dulles, and then we're gonna cover Loudon Gateway and Ashburn in 3 weeks. So stay tuned for all those videos. Lots of reasons to subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.
customers traveling on or connecting to the